we live? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Promise.
Hello, everyone. How are we all doing today? We are here back again, right? This is the Azure Study Series for the year 2022. I'm sure everyone is glad to be here once again. I mean, we had lots of interesting sessions last year, and I know this year promises to be great. It promises to be wonderful. So today we'll be having the topic called the Azure Core Services. This will be our first session for the year, and we'll be having these sessions regularly from now on, right? But just stay tuned as we keep you updated. Remember that if you haven't joined our channels, please ensure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, ensure to like our pages on LinkedIn and on. All right. At this point, I would like to welcome our speaker for today. He's none other than Mr. Raphael Gabmomo. Now, Mr. Rap, those of you who don't know Mr. Raphael, he's been with us since I would say since the beginning of, I mean, our planning sessions, our training sessions, and he has really been a wonderful source of help to the Nigerian Azure community. So right now, please join me as I welcome Mr. Raphael Gabmomo. Hello, Raphael. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm very good. Promise. Good to work with you again.
Yes, yes, it's a new year, it's a new series, it's a new session going live. So tell me, what do you have for us this year? And in this particular session, what is your plan? What should we look out for?
Okay, so I'm very excited to have a lot of, because I can see in the community page a lot of people joined us for the very first time. So I'm going to be throwing at them. I'm going to be giving them the reasons why they should use Azure, the reasons why they should learn Azure, or the reason why Azure has come here to stay, and most importantly, the core services that Azure has to offer. So and like it is on our slogan, you learn Azure. It's really a pathway to earn easy money. So right now in 2022, you actually don't need to do Yahoo, because the truth is, learn Azure. So long as AI metaverse has come to stay, definitely your skills, the takeaways from here today will go a long way in pushing you forward. Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. This sounds so interesting. I can imagine. I'm so excited because I mean, you are giving me a lot of, a lot of feedbacks to go and think about, so that I can start earning this AZ money. All right, I'll be handing over the session to you right now, Mr. Raphael. So please go on and take us on this interesting journey for today.
Thank you very much, Promise.
You're
So,
welcome.
guys, um, like Promise rightly said, today is Azure Core Services. So, first of all, what is Azure? So, Azure is Microsoft public cloud offering. Okay, so now uh, Microsoft public cloud offering, cloud offering on demand. You might be wondering, what is an on-demand service? So, I want to prick your conscience a little bit. I'm sure that all of you are used to NEPA. Okay, like where I stay in Abuja, if you don't recharge your prepaid meter, uh, you won't have light. So assuming that you load your prepaid meter with enough money, uh, you will have light. So you are actually using light on demand. So that's how it operates in the cloud computing world. So you are not you actually want to do work using, you don't want to buy your own computers, you don't want to invest money in your own computers, you prefer to save money for your business. So therefore, you want to use computers provided by a cloud provider. So in this case, Microsoft. So so I'm going to be going through with you on this journey. So let's see what I have for you today. So we're going to be learning about what regions are, what are availability zones, what are subscriptions, what are resource groups. Later on, we'll go a little bit into compute, networking, storage. Mind you, I'm just introducing it to you as part of the core services that Microsoft Azure has to offer. But later down the road in the series, there are deeper topics. I'll be introducing you to storage, networking, and all that. So first of all, the objective, we're going to be talking about what regions are, region pair, as you can see on the screen. Guys, I want these sessions to be a little bit interactive. So if you have questions, throw them at Promise. Promise is going to let me know that I have questions to answer. And if this is your very first time joining any of our live study series, please let us know. And I also promised that at the end of the session, I'm going to share with you how to write your first fundamental exam from Microsoft for free. So starting the lecture today proper, okay? So what are regions? Now, I talked about you wanting to do a lot of work, you don't want to use your computer. Just imagine, I have been in a project before, and that project requires rendering of images. Okay, so now the truth about it is, if you use your normal computer you are using of 8 gig RAM, that image you want to render will take probably let me know, I suggest 7 days to render. So, but we got into a situation we had to, instead of the developers using, because I work as a cloud engineer, so my work is to spin up environments for for the workers to use. So it was brought to my notice that, okay, if if I use the designer said, okay, if I use this, because of my RAM, I won't be able to deliver it in until 7 days, and the project urgently. So what we did, we went to Microsoft Azure. We spun up a VM. We make the memory as high as possible, and instead of 7 days that the guy was supposed to deliver, he delivered it in just, you know, he delivered it the same day. So that's the power of cloud computing for you. So now let me bring you back a little bit. So Azure offers, and that thing was possible because we're pulling resources from data center. Okay, so data centers hosted in regions. So Azure offer more global regions than any other cloud provider. Uh, Other cloud providers that are there are Amazon AWS and Google Cloud GCP. Those are the most popular. But whether you like it or not, there are more regions for Azure than any other one. So as you can see from the screen, in Africa here, we have in South Africa, we have a lot in Europe, we have a lot in America, we have in Asia. So regions are made up of one or more data center. A data center is basically a place where there are stored computers that you as the user can pull to use on demand. So you can interact. Okay, as we go on, you'll see how. So this flexibility and scale to reduce command latency. What that simply means is that uh, flexibility and scale meaning that if your work is high, you can use more. If your work is low, you can uh, you can reduce. And not only that, if there are because your resources are close to each other, the time response that your customers will use to get what they want is very low. You don't want, assuming that your company is a game company, you don't want the players of your game to be wanting to play game and wait for like several hours before they can, they can play. It's bad. That will be bad business. So your regions make it possible so that your players can get fast response. And not only that, your regions make the data residency and compliance offering. What that actually means is that, okay, uh, data residency and compliance. What that literally means that there are certain places where the data, the governments don't want the customers, for example, interacting with the interface to leave that country. So Azure has made it possible for each country with such requirements to have their own regions. So I'll move up a little bit. Okay, so for example, assuming your small business is in Germany, you can have players interacting, play your data. Some will be stored in Germany Central, some will be stored in uh, Germany Northeast. So as you can see from the screen, okay, the regions are stored very close to each other, 300 miles. From my calculation, it will take, if you're traveling, assuming you're driving your car, movement rate is 70 kilometers per hour. It means that the distance separation between the regions should be like probably 5 hours travel. So that's not too bad for data replication. It means that, okay, you have this thing, okay, it stores in one place, it stores in one place. In case there's any problem, this one does not work, there's another region where the data can be put from. So so it's a very interesting construct compared to you using the service or using operating from your own computer or your own office. So just imagine you working from your own little office, and you are the service you're providing, something comes right now and bumps the whole building. That means your customers and everything is lost. But with Azure, that does not happen because as your data is being stored in one region, it's being stored in another one. So in case anything happens, the other one will pick it up. So I don't know if you guys will remember, I think late last year, MTN went out for MTN went off for quite a while. I think more than 5 hours or thereabout. So and the CEO came and I started explaining, and he was apologizing to everyone. I got a text message, by the way, and they were saying that they would compensate all the users for that time they went off. But the very fact of the matter is, if they were fully vested in Azure, okay, uh, they wouldn't have that problem, because if the machines where the customers are getting whatever they need from goes down, there will be other one to pick it up. That's just a little summary of this slide that you've just seen here. So on this, so I told you about MTN going down for more than 5 hours, and the CEO of MTN and apologizing to everyone. So we have on the screen you can see, if your business was having a single virtual machine, and the SLAs is service level agreement. So Microsoft is promising you that you have a 99.9% guarantee that if anything happens, they'll be back. You'll come back. What that virtually means is that, if just compare, you are working in your own small shop. You're not on the cloud. Okay, something happens, man, you're done. Okay, something happens means you're totally down. But if you are working from Microsoft Cloud, okay, with your 99.9 SLA, it means that if you're using one single VM, easier lift and shift. Lift and shift is you can be moved, your virtual machine and all the information that can easily be moved from one environment to another. So, but if you're using VMs with availability options, and it's your data is being stored in three different places. So this whole zone goes off, another zone is there, another zone is there. So it's Microsoft gives you that flexibility that if you come to the cloud to do your business, you you won't have outages because there's that level and sanctity of that guarantee that okay, we will back you up 99.9%. If there's any problem within 3 seconds, because your data have been stored in another zone, you get to serve the customers very well. So your customers will. So as you can see from the screen, availability zones provide protection against downtime due to data center failures. Let me go back to Promise. Promise. At this point, do we have any question? Okay, I guess we
This
don't
is
have any
not to
questions.
actually interrupt your training session, right? But these are just questions asking about things we would probably want to have later during the session. But I think for
Uh,
now you can go on, and towards the end of the sessions.
okay, great, great, great. So I will just continue. I don't know if I'm getting my screen. Okay, so we're fine. Okay, so Microsoft makes sure that whatever your situation, you have that level of guarantee that whatever business that you're offering to the people, you will not disappoint them. So compared, like I said before, compared to your own private business, your own small shop of, maybe you rented a whole building, you put the last floor, you put all your servers there. So just imagine you are in Ukraine, and the bomb comes there, everything goes down, and your business is lost, your customers are gone, you're disappointed. Maybe you manage to gather a lot of followership, everything will be down. But with the cloud, with Microsoft, this would never happen because your data is replicated in three different places. Okay, so physically you have separate data center within the same region. Your Each data center is equipped with independent cooling and power and networking. What that means is that you have, okay, let me say, in one estate, for example, you have one in one side, one in one side. It maybe the one in the north zone definitely it will have its own AC. So each data center has its own facilities to take care of everything that is coming there, so that in case something happens to that one, this other one will not have issue. So I want you to remember this, because if you're going to be taking AZ 900, this might come as a tricky question. Does the data centers I think I saw this in one of the Oracle exams. Okay, so data center one, do they have, are they connected with the same power? What is this one and this one? They're using the same power source, but true or false? Yeah, that was how the question went. True or false? But the truth is false, because each one has their own independent cooling, independent power. The reason why this is because in case anything happens to this one, it does not affect this one, so that your customers would always have that level of sanctity and guarantee that the business that you're providing would go on regardless of uh, any problems. So, so now we're going a little bit into the business of the day. Okay, so Azure resources. What are Azure resources? So Azure resources are basically components, like storage, virtual machine, networking. As we go on down the lecture, I'm gonna go into the console and show you what is there if you register for an Azure account, and how you're going to see all these things. So I'm not going to explain this, but these are examples of Azure resources. So virtual machines, a storage account, virtual network, app service, SQL database, and functions. Okay. So a resource group, what is a resource group? Resource group, okay, let me explain it this way, okay? Okay, first of all, if you stay in Azure, for example, and you decide that you want to move to, maybe your office, you decided to move to Lagos mainland, or maybe you decide to move to Sulere, for example, because your working place built another office there, and you feel that going to Azure will be a lot of stress. So it means you have to change accommodation. So uh, two things are a little dynamics are involved. When you're changing accommodation to a new place, you have to pay rent. Okay, you have to pay rent. When you pay rent, what happens next? You have to get an apartment. Okay, in your apartment, in your apartment, the apartment will have a key. The apartment will have a key. I don't know. I just want to break this explanation a little bit. So your rent actually, for when you relate your rent to Azure, your rent is your subscription. So no rent, no new accommodation. Remember, you're moving from Azure to Sulere. Okay, so your rent in your tenancy agreement in Azure has expired. You want to move to Sulere, you need to pay new rent. So what gives you access to your new accommodation in Sulere is the subscription. You know, is the rent. So your rent is your subscription. Now, after you've paid your subscription, you need to, you need to have a place to put your stuff. You have a key. Assuming you rented a two-bedroom apartment, so you need to have a place. Okay, two-bedroom apartment will have a bedroom, will have kitchen, will have two rooms. So that's two. I'm just using my own little definition, to see if you guys can understand this better. So that's your two-bedroom apartment. That's what I liken to a resource group. So it's a place. Is that your resource group is a place where you keep all your resources. Remember, we mentioned what resources are in the previous slide. Your resources are your virtual machines, your storage accounts, your virtual network, the things that you would typically create in Azure. Those are your resources. So now, your resource group is a logical container where you keep, all those things. Okay. So your two-bedroom you rented is where you keep, your stuff. Is where you keep your TV. Is where you keep your gas cooker in the kitchen. You keep your sofa and all that. Your study table. Yeah. So I don't know if you get it from that kind of explanation. Okay, so resources in one can exist in only one resource group. Resources can exist in different resource groups. Resources can be moved from different resource group to another. Okay, so application can use multiple resource groups. So down the line, if you're new, if you've not never connected to us before, we would like to take this conversation to we'd like to make it very interesting. So you can join our group. Promise would help to put the link for our WhatsApp group for you to see. To join our WhatsApp group, you are free to always ask questions. We will take these conversations to the next level. Okay, so now earlier on, I'm okay. So another thing that you'll have to understand. Remember, we talked about resources. We talked about resource group. Another very important thing you should know is Azure Resource Manager. So it provides a management layer for you to update, delete resources in your subscription. Remember, I likened subscription to your rent if you're renting a new house. So if you don't pay your rent, you won't get the key to your new house. So in Azure, your rent is likened to your subscription. So if you don't have a subscription, definitely you will not be able to keep anything in Azure. You will not even get the access to log in to Azure. So your resource manager would help you to create, update, delete resources. So, let me move forward a little bit. So I earlier on I explained this subscription. Okay. So if you didn't hear me very well, I said your company was moving from Azure to Sulere, and you need to move to Sulere because you feel it's going to be closer to your workplace. So what you first of all do, you need to end your tenancy agreement at Azure, get a new place in Sulere by paying rent. So if you pay rent, you will be allowed into your new Sulere house. So in Azure, you pay a subscription, you will have access to uh, an Azure account. So an Azure subscription provides you with authenticated and authorized access. See, authenticated and authorized access to Azure account. So in your Azure account, you have billing boundary. So it will help you generate your billing reports. Okay, and it will you have access control boundary to help you to manage the users. Uh, in the account. So long that is for an account with many users. So I hope that you stay with us throughout the year. Along the line, you will understand what that means. Okay, so at this point, I'll quickly want to show you how an Azure portal looks like and the services in Azure portal. So just hold on and just hold on with me. I'd like to stop sharing the screen and share something else. The beauty of Azure, they've asked me to authenticate. So I'm currently authenticating. So if you want to know more about authentication and authorization, this little thing that is showing on my screen, please, our beautiful lady in the house, Tosin, is going to be presenting and teaching you. Oops, you see, it denied, so I have to redo it. I'm so sorry. She's going to be teaching you about authentication and authorization. So what did I do? Approve sending the test. Guys, just give me a minute. Let me approve. Okay, I don't know what's wrong. It's denied again. Let me remove the case from my phone and authenticate. So why you typically need to do this is because uh, using the cloud is for serious business. So you don't want someone to go and tamper with your resources that you have in the cloud because at the end of the day, you will be charged for every everything that you use. So you want to be really, really careful that your account is not open to and is not vulnerable to careless usage by your friends or your family or your colleagues. So that's one of the reasons why you want to put this kind of measures. But like I said before, one of the sections has authentic uh, to be taken by just it's loading. The portal is loading. Azure offers you, I think it's 30 days. You'll have access to all the services to try them for free for 30 days. So as you can see, this is my Azure dashboard. So the purpose of this, what I did, I just signed it. So for a fresh user, all what you do is just Google sign in for Azure portal. It will come out. So on the left side, as you can see, you have so many things there. You have so many things that you can do in Azure. So you have the compute, you have virtual machine skill set, app service, batch account, availability sets. So everything that you typically can do with your computer, you can do it in the cloud. So they've made it easy for you. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the lecture, you don't want to spend money investing in hardware. Okay, so just imagine that. Just imagine the situation, the project I mentioned earlier, where a designer, okay, that project I have to work with, it's a game company, okay, and you, as a game company, you need to create your own custom images. So, uh, those images you see in your cartoons, I tell you, one of those images, if you use your 8 gig RAM computer, 16 gig RAM computer, it might take you 7 days for one image to render. So you need a computer with lots of RAM. Maybe probably 50 or 35. So just imagine you have 50 set of designers working with you, and they're all on contract. It will not make sense to go and be buying them high-end computer. Currently, as we speak, a MacBook Pro of 2021 of, I think, 30 gig will cost you, if you're in Nigeria, would cost you about 1.4 million naira. So just imagine, that's I think about 32 gig or 16 gig. So just imagine you want 50 gig configuration. Maybe you'll be spending probably 2.5. So just imagine you have to spend 2.5 million naira for your contract workers that are designing images for you, and you have to buy like 50. Man, it's crazy. You don't want to do that. So instead, you would prefer to keep that money. You keep that money flowing. You want to, yeah, you want to use on demand, because it's not every time. So you'd want, okay, maybe my name is Ali. Ali, I'll spin up an the right method to create that image. And after it's done with the creation of the image, it's done. We should, instead of going to invest money, 50 computers for 50 designers, use demand. Guys, you guys understand the beauty of this. It's it's so, I mean, businesses to man for businesses to survive. Okay, so okay, like as I was saying, it has everything: networking, storage, web, and all that. So I just wanted to show you the things that the Azure platform has. So I'm still scrolling. It's so many things, so many things. So man, why would you want to waste money when you can just let your workers do what they want to do? You shut the thing, and that's it, and move to another thing. So that's it for that's it for now. Let me move to another section. So we've been able to cover the demo. He said I should log into Azure portal, explore the home screen. So this is the home screen. Okay, hold on. If you've not, okay, is that the exercise said we should explore Azure portal. Look at the home screen. So this is the home screen. Say we should explore the service. So on the left hand side, you can see I'm clicking all service. So if you didn't see me the first time I showed it, so I'm going to scroll through so I can explore the services that Azure has. Okay, like for they are all grouped into sections. Uh, you have the general ones, you have the compute, you have the networking, you have the storage, you have the containers, you have analytics, you have AI service, you have internet of service, you have mixed reality, you have identity, and so forth and so on. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this. We're going to talk about something else from the lecture slide. So moving forward, management groups. So remember earlier on, I made mention of you moving from Agile to Sulere, you're renting, you change your accommodation, you pay rent, that's subscription. The accommodation you get, maybe you get a two-bedroom flat. I liken that to a subscription group. Now I would liken management group to, assuming in that Sulere, you decided, okay, I don't want to stay in just an ordinary house. I want to stay in an estate. Okay, you want to stay in a special estate. So I would liken. a management group, mind you, this is my own definition, okay, the way I understand it. Okay. So I would like a management group to an estate. So the management group can include multiple subscriptions. So remember, in that estate, if you decide you can rent, okay, there was a time I was staying in a place. I rented a place. I had two apartments in that estate. One was for basically for you know, I just this one was for work. Then the other one was, yeah, I was staying. So you just can get the idea. So a management group can have multiple subscription. So just imagine, uh, you know, having multiple subscription, just and renting multiple accommodations in the next day. So the subscription inherits conditions apply to the management group. So the place where I currently stay, there are certain laws and certain rules. Um, the rules apply to all the houses in the estate. Okay, so that's how a management group is too. So one of it is that, okay, if you are at the estate gate, you are a visitor, you must call the person, the security man must call you. You must call you to approve that, okay, somebody is coming to see you. So if you don't agree that you are expecting a visitor, that person will not be let in. So that's how the rules of a management group also work. So the rules from the up are inherited, down. So 100,000 management group can be, so you can take this as a reference. The limit of, how many management group you can have in a single directory. I remember directory. Just, you know what a directory is? Your phone directory, the contact you keep, that's a directory. So you can have 100,000 management group in a single directory. So that is a lot. That is a lot. So you can see from the slide the structure. So it says that you can, a management group tree can support up to 6 different levels. Let's move forward. I hope we got this point. So now, uh, I kind of walked you through, the basics. Like I said earlier on, let this conversation not end here. Let's take it back to the WhatsApp group. Okay, we have people there that don't even sleep at each time of the day. There are people working, and there are people sleeping, and there are people that are awake. So if you don't get anything, please join our WhatsApp group and ask. We'll take the conversation from there. So I've talked about uh, the building blocks, the foundations, which is your subscription, your resource group, your management group, what a resource is. I also logged in into the console. I showed you a list of services that Azure provides. Okay, so I'll move forward. So core workloads. Okay, so these are just a little what's ahead. So you have virtual machines, you have Azure App Service, you have Azure Container Service, you have okay, maybe I'll move a little bit faster because our time is going. So for compute service, Azure Compute Service is an on-demand computing service that provides computing resources like this, memory, networking, and operating system. So guys, in your own computer, before, when you're typing something, okay, let's say you're sending an email, a lot of things come into play that you really don't realize. For you to successfully send that email, you need your compute, you need your networking because you're sending, and you need you need compute, networking, and storage because that message has to be stored before it gets pushed. So Azure Compute Service is an on-demand computing service that provides computing. Okay, I've explained that. So you have virtual machines, app service, container service, Azure Kubernetes service, Windows virtual desktop. So an Azure virtual machines are software emulations of physical computers. Okay, so you have been hearing, you might have heard before, VM. What is a VM? A VM is just an emulation of a physical computer. So I'm going to be showing you how to create a VM and how to connect with it as one of our next exercise. The virtual machine has processor just like a normal computer. It has memory, it has storage, it has networking. So, and it is an infrastructure as service offering. It gives you total control, it gives you total control. So later on, what it means by total control, when I'm creating the virtual machine, you will see, because I will have the opportunity to choose what I want, how I want, the size I want it to be, and all that. That's what it means by total control. Okay, so as you can see from the screen, our next exercise says that I should create a virtual machine, connect to it using SSH, and I should test it. So if you have your okay, I'll just show you how interesting it is. Just give me a minute. Let me log back to Azure portal. Support is now growing on Capitol Hill. Sorry. Yeah. Stop sharing. And I'll share Azure portal. Okay. So go back to create the resource. Okay, I want to create a virtual machine. Okay, so okay, let me create an Ubuntu server. Okay. Let me create an Ubuntu server. So from the slide, it says we should create a virtual machine. So I'm going to be creating a Ubuntu server. So instead of using my own computer to work on that Ubuntu server, I'm going to be using this thing that I'm just creating now, so that you will see the beauty of the cloud. So assuming that I have something that my computer cannot take, because like the scenario I explained to you the other time, my computer cannot take it. I can just spin up a VM, connect to it, and use that VM to do my work. So just give me a few minutes. Okay, let's say I create a resource group. So remember what I said about a resource group, a logical container where you keep all your service. So maybe I'm going to create, I call this resource group, I'm going to call it Azure Study Series. Azure Study Series. So what it simply means is that everything related to Azure Study Series, I want to keep them in one place. Okay? So Azure Study Series. So I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call it Easy Money. Okay. Easy Money. Okay. So the VM virtual machine I'm creating now is called Easy Money. So I made mention of regions the other time, and I made mention of zone. So one of the reasons why you want to choose a zone that is a region, that's closer to you, is because you assuming that you are an African business, you are into games. Okay, you want your Africans to get, when they hit their phone to start playing, they get the thing that they are clicking immediately. So if you go and choose maybe Russia, for example, if the thing is pulling resource from a Russian region and you are in Africa, man, anything can happen because of latency. It might drag, it might lag because of the distance. So it's always preferable to choose a region that is closer to you. So availability, okay, maybe I can choose this. Okay, but I don't want to delay. I'll just choose no. So like I said earlier. Okay, so username, let me call it Easy Money. Yeah. Easy Money, because you want to chop money with us, guys. Okay, so see what I've just done. I'm trying to create a virtual machine in Azure. So the first thing it asks for subscription. Remember, I made mention of subscription. I compared it to a house rent. So when you pay your house rent, you'll be given a key, right? So you have access to the house you want to rent. Okay. So your subscription is your house rent in Azure. So okay. So now your resource group is the house you're renting. Okay. Maybe I rented 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom. Okay, so like it's where you keep all your Azure resources. So resource group, I called my own Azure Study Series. So the instance name, I called my own. The instance name, maybe something that you want to keep in your resource group, something that you want to keep in the 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom you rented. I've explained everything. So I'll just I'll just uh, validate. See, we don't have much time left. only have 8 minutes, but oops, what happened? Change the background and reset selection. So what did I do? Side. So just give me. For me to run the validation. Okay, so it passed the validation check. So I'm clicking create. I had to create the virtual machine. So because of time, I'll no, I'll be so I'll connect to this virtual machine before the class ends. Okay, so we'll keep to the time so that so, so the next thing is that because we create out the instruction says I should connect to it using SSH. So I generated a key pair, so I need to download the key pair. So we're gonna need it later on. So guys, why this is why my key pair is generating? I just want to tell you that you know uh, we might not have enough time to okay, we might not have enough time to connect to it because we only have 5 minutes. So, okay, at this, okay, hold on. Let me see if I can do something really quick. The deployment taking time. So, guys, if you have any question, please ask. But I see that the virtual machine is taking a lot of time to deploy. Promise. Hello, promise.
Yeah, I'm here, Raphael. So yeah, we've
So
had like a couple of yes. Can you hear me, Raphael?
okay, so I was saying that I don't know if we'll be able to finish. Oops, deployment failed. How come? Okay, you ask questions. You tell me. Let me answer the question.
Yes. Yes, we've had like a couple of questions, generally based on how people who are interested wanting to join the community,
Okay.
right? And one of the things I've always said is, okay, we have like a LinkedIn group. So what you can do is you can go on the LinkedIn and search for the Nigeria Azure community, and you should be able to see our page. Now, I understand that Raphael is not able to finish up with the practical session, but not to worry about that. This session is going to be a continuous one. It's going to be a continuous one. I think we'll be having another session next week as well. So just stay tuned to the channel and we will carry you along. Right now, Raphael summarized basically what Azure Core Services is all about, ranging from the various zones, right, in Azure to availability sets to service level agreements, also to how to deploy a virtual machine in Azure. In fact, I think this example he did was deploying a Linux virtual machine and able to access it with your SSH keys, right? So these are many more we have tuned for you, right? So nothing to be afraid, nothing to worry about. Just follow us on our LinkedIn channel and we'll keep you updated with the various programs we'll be having for this session. I've checked, I see Oluwatobi Yusuf asked something about some low code, right? I'm not really clear about your question. So, Oluwatobi Yusuf, I'm not really clear about the question. But however, if you could share those questions to us on the LinkedIn page, sure, we will definitely provide some answers to that. Right here, you can see on your screen right now the page is being displayed right now. That's the Meetup group page, right? You can also join, search for the Nigeria Azure group on the LinkedIn page, and sure we will give you updates. So for now, we'll be rounding up this session for today, right? We'll be rounding up the session for today. So please stay tuned and sure to join us on the next session for next week. And just before we round up, Raphael, do you have any closing remarks for us?
Well, I will thank them for joining us. At this, the labs that I tried to do that I didn't finish will be available in the Nigeria Azure community. So we have these are our special topic sessions. They're like video guides and tutorial. So I'll make the lab available as a video guide and a tutorial. So it's going to be uploaded to the channel. So if any one of them has not subscribed to us yet, let them subscribe and they will get notifications once we upload new videos. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you very much, Raphael. That was an interesting one. And we are just about right on time. It's just about 1 minute to the end of this session. So I will use this opportunity to say thank you all for joining and see you all next week. Bye bye, all.